Hello, my lovely listeners. Welcome. 1st of April. The time has sped up so much that every day I look up from my computer, from my laptop, whatever task I am doing, and I am always surprised by the time. I am either engrossing in my task so much as I forgot how I used to do that, almost as if when I was a child and I was really engrossed in a play or a game. And now it's the same with work. I look at the clock and so many hours has passed, and I know that the time has changed also for the Europe time, and this hour that someone has taken away is having an impact, or had an impact for last couple of days on me, and it took me and it's still taking me time to adjust. And while we are there is also all the planetary movements and all the retrogrades, including Venus and Mars and Mercury, and I don't even know, eclipses. So March really, or has March now on the 1st of April been really hard for you, been really tough for you? Because it definitely has been for me. And when I was thinking about the podcast and what I was going to say, one thing that really inspired me, apart from the podcast and people that I'm listening to on social medias and things I'm reading, was actually something that the teacher said at the Pilates class. So she was instructing us how to move, and I don't know if you've ever exercised on the reformer Pilates. Is just a form. It's like I always explain it. It's like a bed with springs, and you have to push and you have to pull and exercise your muscles. But because it's springs, it's kind of a little bit harder to go and stretch the strings, but a little bit easier to come back because you are pulled by the strings as well. And how she wanted us to move was, she was saying, move as if through honey. So like a sticky, icky, very hard, but also movable substance. And I was thinking, this is exactly how I feel in March and just before March for the last couple of weeks, as if I was moving through the honey, like a really thick honey. And on one hand, I love honey. It's amazing. It's sweet, it's healthy. It goes with lots of things, and I love sweet things. So it brings the substance, or it brings the reality, the 3D thick reality. It sweetens it up. So it's a nice comparison. But also, if you imagine that you are in honey and you have to do something, or you have to create something, or you want to create something, you want to take some action, it's really hard because it takes such a long time, and it is and it's the pressure, and it's not as easy, and it's just hard to move through. You still are moving through, but it definitely takes a lot of strength. Is the resistance. That's what I wanted to say. So moving through like honey, and that's how I've been feeling. And I really wonder how you have been feeling. And if you have been feeling the same way, then welcome to the March retrograde planetary time. I was talking also to my friends, and I was saying how susceptible to the planetary alignments and movements I am, like antenna, and it's really tiring. And I was also thinking, is that because I am really interested in that, and I'm reading a lot of articles and listening to a lot of things about those planets that they affect me so much. And as a sort of magnetism, I was in a cafe and I was talking to the bartenders about the fact that the time goes so quickly, and it takes me a long time it takes some energy to adjust to the time difference. And one of the bartenders said, yes, it's just the Mercury retrograde and all the planets. And I mean, I don't really hear that a lot from like a general public that much, because funnily enough, I go around and I have friends who kind of believe in those things, but by those things I mean the spirituality, the planets, the alignments, the energy, the manifestation, all of those stuff. I have some friends, and I think I am the one who spreads it like information person who is just informed and kind of gently but steadily always spreads this information amongst my friends, and I can definitely talk to them. But with general public, I have to be not careful, but I understand that they are not like that. Although when you dig a little bit deeper and when you kind of go into this conversation with someone, you discover that everyone had, or a lot of people had, some contacts with past people, with ghosts, or they had some coincidences, or they felt energy, or they experienced something supernatural in their life. So I definitely have ability to dig it out like a good journalist from these people. So I can speak to almost anyone, and I go slightly and I dig a little bit slightly, and then I fish out something out of them that happened, and it could be anything. I mean, I was speaking to this lady a couple of weeks ago. I was at this party. I didn't know the lady. I know that this was a mom of one of my daughter's friends. I've heard about her or of her, but I've never spoken to her. And we started talking, and all of the sudden she was saying about the fact that she went to church, and she had this she was in a really sort of abusive relationship, and she had this revelation. She had this almost like an awakening, like a message given to her to leave her partner, and that she was going to be okay. And she left the partner, and she was telling me this sort of in between other conversations, and yeah, I was taking that in. So, and sometimes people do tell me, oh wow, that was a deep conversation, or oh wow, how did we get there? I just have this I don't know how, is it skill or is it just being annoying? But it's just I want to see deeply in people. I want to ask meaningful questions, but I also want to be open. I want to listen. I want to ask the question that it is going to bring me deeper meaning or deeper experiences. And that's why also I love this podcast, because I say what I would say if I was speaking to someone, and I have many personalities in me, and I speak as with a lot of people outside of this podcast to then talk about this here and what impact it made on me, how I understand that. and also explain and bring this back to you to see how you understand that, and to sort of give it or make it so that you go out and maybe ask these questions. If it's not to someone else, you ask it to yourself, and what answers would it bring back to you from other people and from yourself. And but going back to the moving through honey and moving through some substance that is life, that is so resisting, I really wanted also touch upon manifestation and how manifestation relates to choice. I was talking about this in my other podcast, and I just want to go back and to remind myself and you that there is always a choice. We don't recognize it sometimes, and sometimes it's in plain sight, and sometimes it's hidden a little bit, or we think that it's hidden, but it's always there. And those little choices help our manifestation, because they put us on the way to whatever we want to manifest, or sometimes take us to other way, because what we want to manifest is actually not that great for us. I believe in that as well. And those choices, which also come from sometimes little revelation, sometimes is you can make a better choice when you simply go out and just be in the fresh air and kind of refresh your mind and leave it for some time. The whatever the issue, the problem, the whatever is just gnawing at you, just leave it for some time and allow it to come to you. So that's when you leave the resistance. That's when you kind of stop moving in the honey, I guess, and just let it be. And that's how the honey melts also. It's the same as, I don't know if you've seen how to get out of the swamp. The more you move and the more you wriggle, the more you try to get out of the swamp, the sand, whatever it is that you're stuck in, the more you're getting stuck in it. So the real way is, don't know if you watch those videos, to sort of be still, and the more still you are, the better. And then there are like specific moves that are really slow, but there is like a set of specific moves that kind of take one leg or one hand. I don't remember how it is exactly. I'm gonna watch it, but it's definitely not wriggling and shaking fanatically. So this is something that I really wanted to remind myself, that there is always a choice, and there is always a choice that awaits you. I was just thinking about, okay, but how do we know that we are making a good choice? Or what is a good choice? Or is there a good choice? I think that, first of all, our body tells us what it is. Second of all, we don't have to always just straight away make it. We can think about this. And I'm not talking about big, huge, revelationary choices. They are the little ones. They are like those little steps that take us here or sometimes take us there. And although some people might say that hope is really not something very good, I recently was looking at some reels, I think, and there was a politician who was saying, give them hope, as if that was the only food, and people rely on hope and then they don't do anything because all they have is hope. I still believe that hope is a positive thing, hope, but not as being stupid hope, but hope as knowing that everything is working out and everything is okay and everything, and you are loved, this kind of feeling. And you call it hope because when something not that great, not that amazing is happening, or when you are really stuck, when you are really don't know what to do, and you are stuck in this reality, the hope is the motor, is the enabling thing that first of all doesn't allow you to kind of sit down and do nothing and be like, oh, that's it, that's all there is going to be. Hope will make those small actions, or be more kind of stable, or allow you to just sit and allow the whatever there is to just go and pass. So hope is like a friend to all the other feelings around. And although yes, some of the people say hope is just for nothing, not a great feeling, I think as everything else, hope is definitely something that do help us. That's it, I think, for today. If that's just a short, as always, just something that I hope will encourage you and give you a little bit of hope, if that's what is supposed to be, and it's just something out there. But I thought, moving through honey, as I am doing today and have been for the last couple of weeks, and which has been a struggle. And this to me definitely relates to the planets that I am very sensitive to. And sometimes I wish I wasn't, but that's what I am, and I accept that. So if you're also going through similar experiences, then as always, you are not alone. And one of the things that can help us is having hope. And the other thing is that we always have a choice. And sometimes the choices are really clear and standing in front of us. And how you see them, sometimes what's really enough is to just go outside and let the wind swipe in your hair. That's what I did today, and it really helped me. And just have a little exercise, physical exercise, just to let the energy flow. Speak to your friend just for a couple of minutes, or cuddle your cat. Although my cats, they're really crazy as well. I think the planetary movements and everything, the spring equinox, that was another thing. And the heavy energies are really impacting them as well, because they were meowing for the last couple of days like crazy, and there was nothing. They were just very needy and just wanted me to be there, and I really didn't have patience for that. So that's what it is. So we are all here in this spiritual coggle moggle. So yes, wishing you all the best for that, and just keep hope. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.